This next set of problems we're going to be simplifying using algebra. And so this first one we're going to use the distributive property to simplify, which means we're going to take the outside number and multiply it by everything on the inside. So 2 6/10 times 0 5/10. 6 times 5 is 30. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 3 is 13. There's one number after this decimal and one number after this decimal, which means there's got to be 2 in my answer. So this first one is 1 3/10 x minus 2 6/10 times 0 8/10. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20. Again, there's one number after this decimal, one number after this decimal, so that means that there need to be 2 after my total answer, because 1 plus 1 is 2. And so I'm getting -2 8/100 as my simplified answer. I cannot combine these two things because they're not like terms. They do not have the same variable and same exponent. And so my answer here is 1 3/10 x minus 2 8/100. Notice that there was a 0 here. I don't mind if you have the 0 in your answer, but know that you don't need it because that 0 after the decimal holds no place value. It holds no value to it. Over here I'm going to combine like terms, and so I'm looking for terms with the same variable and the same exponent. Those are the last 3. And I'm going to put a 1 in front of this first W just to kind of help myself out a little bit. I know that here and here, when I have same signs, I add and keep, but I have a negative and a positive, so I have to subtract 4 5/10 minus 1, which is like 1 0/10. Make sure that your decimal goes after your 1, not in front of it. We want to make sure we line up our decimals. And so when I subtract, I get 3 5/10. And we keep the sign of the higher number, which in this case is negative, so we've still got 7 minus 3 5/10 W plus 3 8/10 W. Now I've got a negative and a positive, so different signs we subtract. 3 8/10 is bigger, so I'm going to put it on top. 3 8/10 minus 3 5/10 is 0 3/10. Keep the sign of the higher number. In this case, that's positive. So I have 7 plus 0 3/10 W, because this answer is positive. If it helps you, copy, change here, so that you see this is a negative and this is a positive, and the positive is bigger, so my answer has to be positive. And now if we really want to be mathematically correct, we always want to put our term with the variable first if possible. So I'm just going to switch the order here so that my final answer is 0 3/10 W plus 7, so that my variable term is first and my constant term is second.